Okay, let's draw our little running man, shall we? I'm going to use the brush tool to draw myself just a little stick figure. You can add arms. I'm going to skip the arms for today. Just to keep it simple, we'll just animate the legs. And I'm going to select our little dude, and I'm going to go up to modify him and convert him to a symbol. He's going to be a graphic. There are several different types. He's going to be a graphic, and we can actually name him now. Running man. And we say OK to that. In order to animate our dude, we need to move his legs, and we need to go in and modify this particular symbol. So we're going to double click on it, and up in our scene line we see here's our regular scene, and now we're actually in the running man and we're going to edit him. Basically what we need to do is break him into pieces. So I'm going to use my transform tool to select across his first leg, his left leg, and I'm going to cut that to the clipboard, and then I'm going to create a new layer, and then I'm going to edit paste in place. So his leg comes right back into the same place, but because of the new layer, he's now on a new layer. And I can turn off the eyeball on that. There he disappears, makes it a little easier. Go back and select his right leg, and again I'm going to cut that to the clipboard, create a new layer, and we'll call this right leg. And I'm going to go under edit and paste in place, so it comes back in the same place. I'm going to change his layer here to say left, so we know his right and his left, and that leaves his torso on the third layer. You can do the same thing for his arm, but basically you need to put each of the different pieces of him that are going to animate on their own layer. Next, what we're going to do is add, let's say, our left foot here. We're going to add a keyframe there at F6. And I'm going to select my first frame, and I'm going to click right in the middle of it and move this little circle. This is our center of rotation. So if we want to rotate this object, we want it to rotate around that center. The other thing we have to do is go to the end and also move its center of rotation to the same spot. And I'm going to click and drag across both of these, and I'm going to insert a classic tween. And again, I'm going to go to the first one and make sure that my center of rotation is there at the corner, and the end and the center of rotation is at the corner, and when it's like that I'm going to move my leg forward. So now we have a rotation from left to forward. So for the right leg I'm going to do the same thing, F6, and I'm going to this time drag across all of my and add a classic tween in there. Go to the first one, ensure that my rotational aspect is in the middle. Go to my last one, make sure that the rotation aspect is right where I want it to rotate, and rotate it the other way. And now I have my legs crossing over. For the body, I simply add another keyframe here, and that gives me the static visual. If you want that body to move up and down, you can move it as it goes along. Now that's only one part of the rotation. The leg has to rotate back, so I'm going to go another 10, add a keyframe that extends the rotation, and simply rotate the leg back to the starting position. Go down to my right leg, add a keyframe, and rotate it back to the starting position again, and add another keyframe on the body, and that gives me my full rotation walking back and forth. Having established the walking motion, I now go back to my scene by clicking on my scene, and now I have my running man dude, and I'm going to move him to one side and then select keyframe 20, put in a keyframe, put in a classic tween, and on frame 20 he's going to be on the other side, and now as he moves the walking action happens naturally.